aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, we're not too long from the weekend. I mean, it's time to wind down. It seems like we just started this month, and now we're almost heading to the fifth month. We're almost halfway through the year. I mean, telling you, it's just, you get older, you get gray hairs, and times fly. But this young lady, she's not that old. She's a lovely young lady who reached out to a while back. She started following me on my social media. She's also a YouTuber herself. She's a graphic designer. She's an IFBB figure pro. We have here the lovely Miss Paige Sangria, and this is gonna be the second Paige I get to interview. I really appreciate your time, young lady, and please share with us, how did you get this sport a muscle and masculinity? Please share.
So how I got into this sport, let's see here. So as a graphic designer, I went to art school. We had no sports. And whenever I graduated, I took like a month off of, the transition from school to getting my big girl job. And I got hired and it was just a desk job, right? And I was working for, maybe about like 3 months in, and I was like, man, my pants aren't fitting as well as they used to. I used to walk to school. And now I drive to an office and sit all day. And it's just, we know that that's not a very good recipe for a great body. And so I joined a gym, and then I had also got a personal trainer. And I had a couple personal trainers when I was starting out, but the one, she was also a competitor. She did women's physique, and she's here in Pittsburgh. We still keep in touch, but she's the one that kind of put a word in my ear to look into some competitions. And at the time, I really wanted to do figure when I was kind of doing my research, but based off of her feedback off of the physique I had at the time, she said, let's get your feet wet with bikini and go from there. And here we are. I finally got to do figure, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Yeah, she said she was like the episode of Training Day when Denzel talking to Ethan Hawke says, "I know you get wet," so she got you wet.
Yeah,
Figure has been a while for quite some time. It's the vision that's kind of, it's spun off from another vision, which is fitness. As you know, back when I said, I've been following bodybuilding for a long time, and I remember back in the day, there wasn't that many divisions for women's bodybuilding originally. There was just women's bodybuilding, there was fitness. And then some women who were coming up said that, they didn't want to get big and buff like that, so they created a fitness division. And then someone said they didn't want to do all that jump around chicken sweat and fitness, so they spun on and created figure. And and I think it's also a transition division because you said you were bikini, and I know I've seen women who start out in bikini and they go up to figure, and they go up to physique, or go up to women's bodybuilding, or sometimes get the new division wellness. They kind of sidestep in a way, and go over to wellness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of was me. I was, I guess like I had a little bit of the legs at the time. But in reality, I think back then I just like still needed to diet, to be honest. But I definitely wanted to show off my back because I think genetically, just looking at my mom, she's got a very wide back herself. And I knew that I had potential in the back department. And with bikini, we can't, well, they tell you not to move your hair. So I couldn't wait to get out of that division just so I could move my hair. And yeah, here we are. And my back is definitely my strong piece.
Yeah, but also you still have to wear those clear heels. I mean,
yeah.
One of my favorite comedians, Chris Rock, says a daddy's job is to keep his daughter out of the clear heels. Because one of my jobs, I used to have a couple of jobs myself. When I used to work, I used to work. My first real job when I was 16, I used to work at a gas station. I worked until I was a stock board, then I was a cashier, then I was an assistant general manager. Then I used to work in textiles, and I worked with women all day. And then I had another job where I worked at night. With women of we swing on the pole a little bit. It was called a gentleman club, but down here, we call it a booty club. But it's just it's finding someone young like yourself who get into sport, because not a lot of people are into bodybuilding. As they see it as more of a freak show. There's people make comments and suggestions and say she's trying to be a man. I mean, say whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, it's one thing. And it's from guys who don't even have 1 ounce of muscles. They wearing muscle shirts that don't have no muscles. And it's just stuff that you ladies go through.
Mhm.
When you have to compete, like you say, you have to train. You still have to hold a job,
Mhm.
and that's really tough.
Yeah, I'm pretty extroverted, to be honest. So I like talking to people, and I see bodybuilding as like a work of art, right? And I love that, I would say I know that like bodybuilding is kind of like an individual sport. Like I'm competing for myself, which I am, but I also like working with other people. I like having workout partners, and I obviously I started out with a personal trainer, so I like learning off of other people. And I think collectively it's just like a great community. So like when I hear people, not that I get too many negative comments, but when I do see other girls get, like you said, get called a man and things, I feel really bad, because to me I just see everybody as artwork.
Yeah, like it's like taking a body and taking
Mhm.
like being a sculptor and you're chiseling all the other stuff around and just building what you want to see it present to the world. I mean, as I respect you ladies for what you do because it takes a lot. To, you got to get up in the morning. Sometimes you might be have to eat 4 or 5 meals, 6 meals or 7 meals, depending on what division you're in. Then you train and you got to train this body part, this body part. Then it's recovery and all the other stuff, and then it's just a lot. And then also the fact is that it's not a very lucrative sport when it comes to money. It's you women. And I think it's for you women. It's costs a lot more compared to the men. The guys got to put on a banana hammock and a pair of board shorts, and that's it. While you ladies, you have to pay for your posing suit, hair, makeup, also other stuff like the food, paying your coaches, paying travel expenses. We go to the shows, and like I said, you now are a pro, but you have not competed yet as amateur. I mean, you're amateur pro now, but you haven't competed yet. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's soon. We got 2 more weeks.
So what's the show you're gonna compete in?
So I'm already signed for the Pittsburgh Pro. That'll be May 12th. That's a Friday. And then I also have my contract signed and sent for the Toronto Pro.
So you're going up to Canada. Oh, Canada,
Oh
my home
yeah.
sweet Canada. They just had a show just last weekend. That was the Vancouver Pro, but they have y'all divisions. They only have women's bodybuilding, uh, physique, and wellness. And like I said, wellness, is the new popular division. If you saw last year,
Mhm.
I know the I just found it. It's not a trauma. He pushed out your division
I
from the
know.
show.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah, and he did this like about 10 years ago towards bodybuilding, And
Yes.
I'm gonna, this is thing is everybody knows me. I'm a big fan of the Chris Nolan Batman trilogy. My favorite part is the part if you ever watch the part where Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul walks up to Bruce Wayne and says, "You ought to take care of your enemy. You walk quietly behind them and stab in the heart." And that's what he did with his bodybuilding back in 2013, and then turned around no more but 4 or 5 years later, and did it to physique, and it's just to me your division, physique, and women's bodybuilding are really more are truthfully, real bodybuilding divisions compared to bikini and wellness, which I call, excuse my language, they're the TNA divisions.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, folks, we'll go in here at social media real quick and look at some pictures, and you want to check her out. You can follow her also. So she also has a YouTube channel. So we're gonna go here real quick and take a little look here, and we have some pictures here. This is right here. This is from you at the USA's. That was what was that 2021?
Yeah, that was at the end of July into August. So that was actually the year that they had moved it to Arizona. So I know that it's back in Las Vegas now, but the year that I won was Arizona.
Yeah, because I know a friend of mine. She competed back in 2019. I remember that same year. I think that same year, 2021. That was when Hunter Henderson
Yeah.
competed. She earned her pro card. I mean, she really
Yep.
hit it. She really hit it big when she made her debut.
Yeah, I
Like
met her backstage. She's very pretty.
I know, and this is like I think this is you and your mom. This your mom.
Yep, it is. Yeah, and I was just talking about how she's got a wide back. It might be hard to tell in that picture, but yeah, we
Mhm.
got some wide backs in our family.
That's the same thing in my family. We got wide backs. That's your grandma right there too.
Yeah, yeah, and they all support me, so it's fantastic. I'm happy to have a family that supports my bodybuilding goals.
And that's good because some people were especially like a mom saying like, "Sweetheart, I don't want you to be like all buff and huge, and I'm afraid you might not find a man or something like that, or just you might come in and like you have to walk sideways in the door like that, but, and that's you dress up as Sailor Moon. That's cute.
Yeah, that was Sailor Venus actually. But yeah,
Oh,
I love anime and cosplay and things, and I've been out of it for, well, I still watch anime, but I haven't done any sort of cosplay in like 15 years.
oh,
So with me getting ready for my show, I had a lot of people say that I should, and I just, finally, got myself a costume and put it
yeah,
on.
yeah. I know a lot of people like the anime. I used to watch, like Dragon Ball Z and my, I'm okay. We're gonna say which ones are favorites. I'll say mine. You say okay. You say your first. I say mine.
Oh, for Pokemon?
No, no. I'm talking about which one's
Oh,
favorite anime.
oh, my favorite anime. Okay, all right. Mine's Inuyasha. So that used to be on
Oh,
Adult Swim too.
oh yeah. I used to love watch Inuyasha. They brought it back a couple of years ago. So that remember that last
Yeah.
episode when they were
Yep.
inside of the demon's belly and
Yep.
they give it the ending.
Hmm.
And my personal favorite is Naruto, the Nine Tails.
Yeah, Naruto's good. There's a lot of episodes though. I kind of lost track.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not too fan of they had the series Boruto. I'm not too fan of that. It's
Yeah,
like,
I didn't get into that.
yeah.
Inuyasha ended up having one about kids, and it was really good. It was about his daughter and stuff. It was cool.
Oh yeah, yeah. What was it he had a daughter with Kagome, or he had it with somebody else?
No, he had a daughter with Kagome, and they did a whole series on her. And then Shishomaru's, he had twin daughters, so it was like the three of them on adventures. It's pretty much like the Naruto kid one too, but it came out last year actually.
Yeah, I used to watch one called Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard of that
it's
one too.
yeah, I watched it a few times. It's all right, but like, oh, folks, we got somebody came through here. It's my man KL the Wanderer. He's also a content maker on Wins Bodybuilder. I like the Sailor Venus outfit. Yeah, he likes anything.
Uh,
Also, he says, uh, yeah, Inuyasha was the shit. Yeah, I used to like to watch that. And also, he says, you are an animator. No, she is a graphic designer, which is she makes graphics, and also she has a YouTube channel. So if you want to check it out, her information in the description, her YouTube channel, her IG, and all the social media stuff in the description. You want to reach out and check out to her. But I got a rule, guys, and I know why I need to explain that to y'all out there. And it's just and excuse me, Paige, there's no offense to you, just me telling these guys out there, no D pics. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Don't just think of. I know when you see these ladies and they're buff and they're shredded, you get a tick in your pickle, you get a tussle in your muscle, but stop it. Think about it before you do it. Now, anyway, with the sport of bodybuilding, it really has, been some struggles for a lot of competitors, between finances and stuff like that. As you know, a lot of stuff's going around. You saw in the news lately with the mains and stuff like that. And you're in Pittsburgh where they are stationed. And you have, I know I saw a video you did a one with JM some time ago. And, and it was, what experience with being around him and any other manions?
I've always had positive experiences with the Manions, and I mean, I'm not gonna say against like, if these other girls, I don't want to say I don't believe them, but like my personal experiences with the Manions have always been really good. I actually like talking with JM because JM loves like Batman and stuff, so we get kind of on a nerdy level when we talk, and um, yeah, he's always been very polite to me, and he always remembers me because I'll see him at the Arnold Expo or other events. I haven't really talked to Tyler too much, but he was a judge at my show that I won my pro card, and I always go to the Pittsburgh Pro shows to watch previously. So I know of them. I think Tyler's a couple years younger than me, but he seems like a very good judge. He takes it seriously, and yeah, the like Jim Mannion, like the president, I've seen him around, but I haven't really talked to him either. But I've heard nothing but good things about him.
Yeah, because like I said, I got a friend. He's my partner. We do live stream together. His name is Jen, and he's from around the. I think he's a little bit around. He's from Pennsylvania. I think so. I forgot where he said exactly where he's at. And I never been to Pittsburgh. I used to have an aunt. She used to live in Philly, and I always wanted to go up there. Maybe someday when I can afford it. We got people that's come through here. Oh no, this is a troublemaker, and you're gonna laugh at this when I say his name. This is my man, Balls Deep.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Good afternoon, gorgeous."
Hello,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah. And Balls Deep, you gotta be careful with that one. You gotta be careful.
I like
But
humor.
yeah, I like people. And you said that JM is a fan of Batman.
Yeah, J.M. Mannion. Yeah, he loves Batman, which is great because Pittsburgh we're known for black and gold. So of course, he likes to wear black and gold colors, or he'll wear a lot of Batman, and he's got like Batman shoes. So yeah, J.M. likes Batman. If anybody didn't know that.
Well, I got somebody that Jamie not like. This is the other guy. You know, he's unbreakable. That Batman. His rules are just. He just. It's like the irresistible force against the immovable object with him. He just and he completes me.
Oh, you're good at that.
I've been working on that for a long time. I remember when that movie came out, I went to see it, and he just took it and ran with it. All the Batmans I think are my favorites. I go like this. I got to go first. I got to give the Michael Keaton because he's coming back in the Flash movie coming up. He's coming back as Batman. Then I got to get to Adam West because he's the one I grew up with. Then I had to give the Christian Bale. And the worst Batman has to be George Clooney. I just want to forget about him. It's just I don't know. I like Val Kilmer because I remember I used to watch when he was Doc Holliday. From he was a great Doc Holliday. So yeah, you're Daisy if you do, Daisy if you don't. It was just great here. My man Balls Deep. No man K is a hater as usual. He says George is the wannabe Joker.
Oh.
No, I'm not the wannabe. I'm the real thing, my friend. My mother, my father was a drunk and a fiend. My mother never liked it. That's one bit. He stick the knife into my jaw and says, "Why so serious?" I'm sorry, I had to do it. And you also do interviews yourself. And how long you been doing your channel?
So I was doing a lot of interviews during 2020 and then like into 2021. And then even last year when I was in my off season, I haven't done any this current year. Just because time, all the cardio I'm doing for prep and everything. But I even like did a prep series on my pro card win. So I filmed everything and then a little bit of my off season. But like I said, when I started prep, I just wanted to be all focused for the pro debut and make sure that I did all of it with 100% focus because I'm sure you know how it is nowadays in the gym and there's tripods everywhere and I just don't want to be that person right now. So I just haven't made the time. I feel bad. I love filming for YouTube, but I'm kind of envious of some of these girls that have like boyfriends that can film for them and follow them around where I'm just kind of like by myself. So
you don't get no man.
No man, no man.
Oh man, this is a pretty woman. Hey guys out there, hey, if you are a dude who's really not no crazy weirdo like that, reach out to her, show respect. Hey, this is a lady, But yeah, I work out of Planet Fitness, so we don't you don't see too much of that. I know a lot of bodybuilders don't like it because you can't. You can't go there. You can't drop the weights and do like I got a friend. His name is Sean. Sean. He's a men's physique competitor. He's an amateur. He has his own channel called the Bodybuilding for Dummies, and he did a thing. He shit out my gym, and I got into it myself because about like for a long time I have a lot of health issues. My personal say I have a pacemaker right now. I had that for at least almost 10 years, and after a while I was taking care of my mom for 6 years. She passed away back in 2020, and then I started realizing, I got nobody to take care of but myself. So I said, because I was almost 500 pounds, after she died. And I said, I got myself in shape, started eating. I still have some habits because, there's some things, especially, when like good stuff. Like, I know they tell you don't eat too many carbs, try to stay away from bread and stuff like that and sugar and like that. And sugar, it's like crack. It'd be like, it'd be feeling for it, And what is your thing you like to eat?
Fruit.
When, what?
You mean when I'm not dieting?
You're not down. What's your favorite food? What's something you sometimes you be craving for? You be like sometimes in the middle of the night you be like acting like Tyrone Biggins from the Chappelle Show. Like I just did this for the
Yeah. No, really, I want fruit really bad. Like I cannot wait to get some fresh fruit. I like strawberries, I like bananas, I like watermelon, I like all of that juicy stuff. So
That's
I
that
just
juicy
want some of
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
But I get some of it in my off season, but definitely not prep. I am very carbless in prep, where off season is where I'll get some of that for my pre and post workout.
yeah. Well, when you won the USA's, what was that first meal you had when you got off stage?
What was the feel? Oh, you'll like this. So I went to, you guys have it down there, I think, Rising Canes. Do you guys have that?
No, no, never heard of
Oh,
North
it's a
Carolina.
chicken fingers fast food place, but
Well,
they've
there's
got
something
a.
like that we got probably at Zaxby's. That's the closest one.
Oh, okay. I've heard of them too. They're good, but yeah, I went to Rising Canes, and it was funny because my coach, at the time, she lived in Arizona, and she let me stay in her house for a whole week leading up to the USA show. And I kept telling her about, like, oh man, like Rising King, we don't have that in Pittsburgh. So I was like, I love that place. And she was like, okay, well, maybe after the show, like we'll go there. And it was awesome because she took me right there after the show, and the line was probably a good 30 minutes, but we didn't care. So it was worth it.
Yeah, it's kind of like being a little kid going to McDonald's. And we go to McDonald's, say, "Yeah, McDonald's, McDonald's." You know, I don't like McDonald's too much. I got a thing for Burger King. I call it my heron. You know, it just so you be like, sometimes after I work out, I say, man, I be hunkering for something. So I could go home and get something to eat, or this Burger King right there. Like I'd be like, it be calling my name, man. It be calling me. It be calling me. It be calling my name. Here goes my
Oh,
man KLL, the hater, saying, like I said, Jack Nicholson Joker was funny. I like
oh,
Jack. I love Jack. He was great. And also he said this shit. He's saying you laugh, ma. Okay, yeah, ma. Yeah, that's not that. That's not a laugh. That's some cartoon villainy, like I said. But like I said, the sport is evolved in the last few years. If you look at it, your division is starting to. If you look at figure now, especially at the pro level,
mhm.
there's some like being kind of the walls are breaking between physique and figure. Some of the figure girls looking more like physique, getting bigger, yeah.
Yeah, they
And
are.
some of the physique girls are getting like, as you just saw um, recently, I think it was Sherry Priyami who won at the because I got an interview with her
Yeah,
on Saturday. If you
she's
follow
so
me,
cool. So
yeah,
cool.
yeah, she's great. So reach out to her. My man David Bryan, he loves her. He's a big fan of her. And
Mhm,
she switched up to bodybuilding back in last year.
mhm.
And you look at people like Ashley Jones, who was a figure competitor,
Yep.
who's physique, but it looks like she's getting those muscle bellies and go up to
Mhm,
like she might go to bodybuilding eventually. I just saw Melissa Tight said she's gonna make her debut. I
mhm.
think she said, was it New York, I believe, or something? I'm trying to remember. I know I follow her, but like I said, what do you think? You feel like that there should be some criteria? The judging thing is just it's crazy.
Yeah, and I've been trying to figure that out myself because, I absolutely love women's physique, honestly. Like, I do like my heels, though. I will have a hard time if I ever want to move up, but I'm always open to it. But coming back to the figure with that, it is interesting because, I mean, I think it's the judges. Like, I feel like you start to see which judges like what kind of look, and I think in my opinion, I think the male judges are starting to go for a very large physique, but then they still want like that really nice level of conditioning. Because if you look at like the Olympia, I mean, most of those girls, like, I mean, I showed my coach in figure. She had won fourth place. Her name is Josie, and my coach was like, "That's physique." I'm like, "Nope, that's fourth place at the Olympia for figure." And she's just like, "Wow." Um, and to be honest, like even Jessica Reyes Padilla's, she was second place, and I've seen her in person. She's really like not that big, but when she's on stage, she just knows how to pose really big. So it really does come down to like actually being at the show and just seeing the athletes there, and then you can start to see a difference. But I think what kind of helps, I think the girls are getting big, but they're just not getting as like shredded as like women's physique. Because I'm sure that you know like the women's physique girls, like that you really have to nail some conditioning for physique, and they're allowed to have those striated glutes and stuff. So as long as that's not transferring over into figure, but yet the size is there, and I think that's where we're starting to see that like teeter totter. So if that makes sense to you.
Yeah, because you know what? If you look at it, they say they don't want to see striations in the glutes,
Mm-hmm.
especially in figure, in bikini, or in well, you got that, but well, in wellness, you don't see a lot of striations. It's a glute division, and you don't even want to see it in physique or women's bodybuilding. But you think about it, you're building muscle, and
Mm-hmm.
then when you do that, you're thinning your skin to a level where you're going to see definitions in the glutes, in the quads. You're going to see those striations, and then it's always the debate about the femininity part. Like, okay, I understand that's important. To me, it's not as important, but it is important. But the fact is, it's about being an athlete, the progress. No one tells the guys, hey, you don't come in styrated, don't come in, like this or that. They want to like women's bodybuilding. Like I said, it's not been a good year for this year. I mean, they kicked out from some shows. Some shows got dropped. I saw Puerto Rico, which has been a popular show. It's not on this list. Savannah Pro, where I went to last year,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a great opportunity for me because to go to my first bodybuilding show
Mm-hmm.
and to meet people like Donna Salib and also to meet Leah Popa, Annie Revicchio, and one person I know you interviewed, but I don't mention her name on my channel. So you follow my channel, you should know. Yeah, yeah. Don't mention her name because I'm not gonna mention her name.
No, okay, I figured where that was going.
Yeah, but to see that it's getting smaller. I think other than fitness, there's so few shows. Because I think with fitness, because the whole jumping around chicken sweat part, that takes a lot more time. But still, these sports are still standing.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I feel really bad for female bodybuilding because I think the women are beautiful, and I support all of them also. And to only see what they only have like 9 shows or something to pick from for the year, and I can't imagine. I mean, obviously, like I said earlier, that it was kind of upsetting to see the Arnold get rid of figure, but they had already gotten rid of female bodybuilding and physique. So now I understand what those girls are going through, and it really does. It sucks when you're only limited to a certain amount of shows, and it looks like most of them are European. And like you mentioned earlier, like the sport can be expensive, and traveling isn't overseas is definitely not cheap. So I feel bad that half of the shows the girls can pick from are going to probably be like pretty expensive.
Yeah, because I think really it's only three this year qualifiers. There's four
Mhm,
overseas, but three qualifiers for this year. As the Portugal Pro, the Europa,
mhm,
and you have the Master Show coming up, and that's also Olympic qualification.
mhm,
The Romanian Muscle Fest, they pushed that to because they pushed the Olympia in November, it's
mhm.
after the Olympia. So that
Oh,
means
yes.
that they have to qualify for next year's Olympia. We have a man here, Lawrence Perkins, dropping in. He says, "Good evening, everyone." Yeah, good evening, Lawrence. Thank you for coming dropping through and seeing us. And it's just getting difficult. Like even physique, the
Mhm.
shows are getting slow. And then there was complaint about so many competitors at the Olympia. But then you got to think about it,
Yeah.
like you have shows we have one or two divisions, and you have all these promoters, but the complaints not then they cut the point system because some competitors they put in the hard work, they still
Mhm,
want to go to Olympia. It's
mhm,
just the complaint is, well, tell the promoters have less shows, but the problem is, like, I think divisions like wellness, bikini, I think
mhm.
men's classic, and also I think men's physique are easy turnable because you can put those shows like, okay, girl can do bikini girl competition, and then turn around 2 weeks later do another bikini show. While with women's bodybuilding and physique, they need time because when you build a muscle like that, it's a drain on the physical body. It's like you understand, building muscle is not basically a
Mhm.
woman's thing. It's men and women, we're the same race, we're both humans, but we're different species.
Yeah.
And to build muscle like that can really be taxing. And even you're more of the smaller end, but still you have to build muscle and come in conditioning. And it can be really straining on you.
Yeah, I actually, after I won my pro card, since that was 2021, I already knew that I wanted to take an off season. And when I got the pro card, I'm like, well, this is going to be a long off season because I really needed to put size in my legs, and we all know that like building tissue, like quality tissue in your legs is going to take it takes time. Obviously, all over the body takes time, but I didn't want to rush it. I really didn't. And I actually enjoy training, and it was like fun to like eat and like train. And I'm actually someone I am comfortable being a little thicker, to be honest. My dad's half Hispanic, so I definitely get pretty curvy in the off season, and I embrace it. I'm totally okay with it. I like being shredded and everything, but you know, off season's fun, so I didn't have a problem with it. So I took a year and a half off season to grow muscle. So it definitely takes time, and it's good for the hormones. And I don't have to do as much cardio. I'm always doing some cardio, but it's just better on the body, and then I'll have longer longevity. Which I'm 30, so it's I still got some time to grow into the sport.
Yeah, you're still a young lady. I mean, I remember when I was 30, but then you hit 30, everything goes downhill. This year I'm gonna be 49, and I got arthritis and here and there, and my shoulders here. I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I do, like I said, this afternoon, this morning when I did my exercise, I do a little weightlifting, I do my cardio. I try to do like 20, 30 minutes. I'll be on a treadmill and I listen to music, like have my headphones on. I say, I keep on going. Sometimes I hear one song get inspired. Like this is one Rocky Bob. It's like a Rocky Balboa mix where it says like apart from the part in the beginning of if a Rocky Balboa says it's not matter how hard you hit, it's about how much you can take the hits and keep on moving. I hear that say I keep moving. Like, Rocky, yo Rocky.
Yeah.
That inspires me. Just like a person like me who's not a competitor
Mhm.
to to do what I do and try to be consistent. And that's the thing about bodybuilding. People don't understand it's being consistent. It's not one thing people talk about is that all y'all on steroids and pads. Here's the thing: people got to remember that steroids is only a very small factor of it. It's for recovery, for this and that. But then you look at the mainstream stuff, like you look at football, basketball, boxing. You hear more stories about it. But it's easy to pick on bodybuilding because you know how you just can't like this natural bodybuilding, but you can't build that mass
Yes.
without a little edge.
Yep, I agree. And like you said, there's food and training and recovery. And I think that's the thing people don't realize too is like if we can get a little bit of help to get that extra recovery so that we can build muscles more efficiently, you know, most of us are going to want to do it, especially when you're in the pro league, right? Because, if they're doing it, well, then you got to join the party.
Yeah, because like you something for the big dogs. You
Yeah.
gotta you gotta be prepared because you can't come in there and say I'm just waiting here. No, no, no. You gotta come in here. You gotta play. You want to play. You gotta win. You gotta put out your best. You gotta
Yeah.
it's tough. We're gonna just switch her here because I just pulled up her YouTube channel and she got some nice she got some pretty cool content on here. I was looking at some of it while I was just checking out some stuff. And in your page is called Page of Swords and Page of Swords podcast. That's pretty
Mhm.
cool, like a little sword right there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. And you talk like I said, you hadn't done it in a while. I've seen that you
Yeah.
talk to some ladies here and there. Some I recognize. Like I think one of your first person was Alex Castro.
Yeah, yeah, she's from out here in Pennsylvania. We actually did a show together back in 2019. So we just still became friends, and I know she got her pro card, and I'm super excited for her. Like I said, I love female bodybuilding, so I just, really like seeing some amateurs come about and get into it.
I know because I think she got the same year as Chelsea Dion because she
Yeah.
was competing in I think it was light heavy, and
Yep.
she won that. She won her class, and Chelsea won the overall. Also,
Mhm.
some other ones I recognize here. I think here. Let's see. I think I see. There's Cheryl Mears who's competing um, at the Olympia Masters.
Yep. Yep.
Also, you have here. I think my man KL did interview with her, Mandy Harbin.
Yep.
Also, Amy Schubert, and I think she's
Mhm.
supposed to be competing this year because from what I see from her, I think she's going to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
She's too much muscle definition for physique. And another lady who I interviewed a while back,
Mhm.
Jamie Pinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
While I haven't seen Jamie in a while, but yeah, yeah, she's a
well,
good girl.
yeah, well, she had some surgery a while back. I remember
Yeah.
she posted on her her YouTube channel. And then a while back, she posted a little video talking about women bodybuilding, how they're not that attractive like that. And some ladies who,
Broke my
yeah,
heart hearing her say that.
yeah, and some ladies who know me sent me the video and
Yeah.
said, and one said, you know what, George, you need to talk to us, something like that. And I brought her on here, and we had a nice conversation. Another lady who I've become friends with also was with us. But like I said, we were talking a good bit. But I know she's going through some medical issues. I hope she's doing all right. But yeah, it's just it takes a lot of work. Like I said, I've been on here for about. I said, I started because I was doing my mom her sickness, and I needed some outlet. And I was always been a fan of bodybuilding. I grew up in the good part of the '80s. My brother used to play football here in our hometown. He used to get the muscle mags, and guys like Arnold Lee Haney, Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk. That's another guy, and then getting into my pubescent ages when I started seeing people like Corey Everson and when
Beautiful.
Laura Craval and Linda Murray and Kim
Yeah.
Zaveski and today's is the birthday of Valentina Shapigin, the first Miss Olympia from the Ukraine. And just watch these women over the years, and I reached out to some of these ladies, and doing interviews and talking to. I've talked to ladies who are Olympic competitors. I've talked to ladies who are, legends in the sport, and it's still have these good friendships with some of these ladies. So every now and then they might call, or I might call them, check up on them. It's just, and you still have a good relationship like with Alex, and she's planning on competing because or she's just.
I know. I think she wanted to just put on size, and I'm not really sure what her timeline is for that. But she's been kind of. I know she was moving the last time I talked to her a while back, and I don't know. I've just kind of seen her on the low, probably just training, and maybe she'll be popping up somewhere eventually. But I don't know what her timeline is.
Yeah, well, I hope we do see, because like I said, we do need the
Yes.
fresh
Mhm.
blood to come in the sport. There's not that many. It's other. I think the youngest right now in division is Lavina Rodriguez. I think she's like
Mhm.
26. Then you have Michaela Aycock, a
Yeah.
couple others. Most of the women are in their late 30s to their early 40s, 50s. Like people like Andrea Shaw. I was correct there. I was going. See, like I said, again, I'm from the South, and when we say the
Right.
names how it's spelled, we say Andrea, and somebody who knows will say, "Hey, George, it's Andrea." I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize." And I'm a fan of hers. I got to see her when she did a guest posing at Savannah, and
Mhm.
she is just a beautiful woman. I mean, she's
She's so
really.
nice too. I got to meet her at the Arnold, and she talked to me and my friend for like a half hour about competing. And man, if you ever get the chance to talk to her, she's so nice.
Well, I got a friend of mine. She's a amateur competitor. Her name is Yetta Badu. She just did a seminar with her and Angela Yo. And
Oh,
and Angela, she looks. I remember also. I think Angela turned pro back in 2019.
mhm.
Great physique, great look to her. I mean, she has a great style to her. But
I
I
did.
think what it is that we had a while back. I was part of a panel talking about, can anybody beat Andrea? But I said, I don't see it.
It's tough. I mean, I'm impressed that she was able to beat Hella, but yeah, Andrea is kind of a whole different ball game. It's a beautiful shape and round muscles, and I don't know, and just gosh, it's going to be tough, right? It's just like my division for figure. Sid Gillen's won 6 times, and I
Six times.
I I don't know if anybody's going to beat her.
No, I don't think Skin's kind of like she's up there. She's tied with Corey Everson with the most winning for a woman Miss Olympia.
Hmm.
She probably can surpass Linda Murray and maybe even surpass Iris Kyle.
Yeah,
People say, well, that's figure, but still Miss Olympia. It may be a different division, it's still Miss Olympia. She might surpass that record. We got my man here, Hitman Hands Off. How off? I say this. The Hitman here says it really sucks when, even with the huge efforts of the athletes the entire year, the female bodybuilding contest doesn't give any pro cards because there is not many girls to compete. Yeah, I know a lady who I did an interview a while back.
mhm,
She lives overseas. She's actually from Brazil, but lives overseas. She did 2 shows with pro qualifiers.
mhm.
She didn't get a pro card. I saw a show at Romania. One woman, she did 2 divisions. She won for women's bodybuilding and women's physique. And and this lady, this is like this. okay, this is why I said where the lines will start blurring.
Yep.
She's a physique competitor.
Mhm.
I understand when you're pro card in physique, but then turn around winning the pro card in bodybuilding. And like I say, the poses are different compared to like with your divisions, you only have the four mandatory poses, just turn,
Yep.
turn, 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 turn.
Mhm.
But with the other divisions, like with physique, you have the five poses, which is supposed to be more effeminate because effectively they don't want to see the ladies do like the front lat spray, which is favorite because it's like you really see how the muscles develop. You know,
Mhm.
they don't want to see them do it because it's too muscular. And in bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, their poses are similar to the man. You
Mhm.
know, what do you like the poses in your division, or you feel like you want to do a little, you want to move a little more, you want to flex a little more?
I do like the figure poses, but I do like to add a little of my own flair. And I'm really excited to be a pro now because we will get more time to pose on stage. So I will be able to throw in a few of my own like poses, which the judges have said that it is okay that if figure girls start to add maybe more of like a bikini pose or a wellness pose, we are allowed to do that. They just don't want to see any of the physique poses, which are like any double biceps or anything like that. They don't want to see that, but they're okay with wellness and bikini for figure, I guess. Um, but yeah, I really, really love both poses for physique and female bodybuilding. And I understand what you mean about people getting pro cards doing other like the crossover divisions because I've seen that for figure too. I've seen girls get their pro card in figure and physique, and I'm like, well, I guess that means that they're probably going to end up doing figure until judges tell them they're too big and need to go to physique.
Mhm. Yeah, I know a lady who I did a review with, Professor Jada Beverly. She was in physique, and she earned a pro card with USA's, and she was told to go up to bodybuilding, and she didn't do too well because I think with her aesthetics, she's very tall, lean. I mean,
Yes.
she's not going to be putting in much size. Lisa Codry, who just switched back over to physique, I think this is how it is. I think with figure and it's more for the taller women. You have
Mhm.
those, really tall, kind of taller women. With I think physique and wellness, I think it's more for the shorter women because I know a lady who, a couple ladies that I was with. One was physique peddler, she switched over to wellness. One is a figure peddler, she's planning to switch over to wellness. It's about those criteria. And I know from he tells me that one thing about the wellness division is that it's mostly for the women who have those Afro aesthetics, the bigger hips, thicker thighs.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder for us people that don't have those. Like I said, your father's half of Spanish, and you have some of the DNA, so you probably can do well as you want, but you're more a figure girl. You want to stick with that.
Mhm. I love my back too much. That's the thing. Like I really like those wellness looks. And I'm sure that if I took like a solid 2 years and hammered my legs, like sure, maybe, but I just honestly, if I could pick, I would just want to stay in figure or move up into physique, to be honest.
I think one thing is like there's possibly a talk that they might dissolve the figure division and make it the new physique division and tell all the physique girls to move up to bodybuilding because the fact is, like I said again, the lines are getting blurred. You look at people like I know a friend of mine. She's a NPC judge. She used to be a competitor. She was attending like a seminar. She ran into Natalia Cuejo, and
Yeah.
Natalia got huge. I mean, and remember she was a figure girl originally herself, you
Yep.
know, and then she comes in like she wins the Olympia. I remember this happened with Sarah Vigor. She came in, always shredded condition, but she came in a little soft. And this happened to, I know you never remember this. I remember this because back in 2005, this when she was still a young buck,
Mhm.
little young girl, that when Iris Cup was going for her defending her title,
Mhm.
she lost to Alexander Akeem. They told women to come in like I think it was 20% less,
Mhm.
but Iris did that. But then Yaxini came in huge and shredded, and she lost. And then when they pushed out women's bodybuilding back in after 2014 Olympia, they could have did this if they wanted to keep women's bodybuilding in Olympia. They could have gave the like I said. This is why I would say the judges have a lot of control. They could have gave the title to Alina Popa because Alina has. I met a woman face to face. She's a very beautiful woman. Great,
Mhm.
this amazing physique, amazing body. I think if she had won that year, it would have kept women's bodybuilding because they had to win what they want. And Sid Gillen, like I said, she's very attractive, very great look. I mean, she doesn't come too muscular. She tries to hold back a little bit so she wouldn't becoming too shredded. But the thing is, it's trying to keep your legs in like a box, telling you okay, you can't evolve and go up. That's the
Yeah.
thing is, in any sport, it's about evolution. When bodybuilders started like Schwarzenegger and them, they had a look. Then you went to the area of Lee Haney and them, and then you went to the areas of Ronnie Coleman. Now you have guys like Heidi Chopin and Big Ramy and Brandon Ray and those guys. It's it's always evolving. You go from Richard Lesh to Corey Everson to Linda Murray to Kim Zavetsky. That's one reason why they started putting together because Kim Zavetsky was getting huge.
Yeah, yeah, she's a big girl for sure. I mean, it was beautiful, but I think they got a little worried about it.
Yeah, this thing is like I know it's like one thing as I talk to ladies about this, they saying that they are focused. They want to be considered as any athlete, and just like yourself, you are an athlete, and you train, you work out, you want to come in your best condition. You don't want to go and do a show and say like, you know what, I was better conditioned than that girl. How come she won? I mean, just because she, what is it? I mean, what? I mean, what is it? What is it? I mean, it's just what is it? I mean, we got a man here, Hitman saying, Allison Anderson is one of my favorites, but unfortunately, it has happened to her a couple of times. There was no one show up at the show for bodybuilding. Yeah, because I had a lady who I interviewed. Her name is Jarissa Upton. She competed also at the amateur show, and there was only four of them. It was Jarissa Upton, I think it was Cerise Hayes, Nina Beans, and also Allison. And because there wasn't enough competitors, they just get a pro card. I mean, it's just, and I know it's difficult when, and I think one is always going to say like, oh, we want to maintain our femininity, we don't go to bodybuilding. But here's like this. If you go to a bodybuilding show and as an amateur and you look over there, there's like 30, 40 girls in physique and there's only like maybe 6 or 7 women over in bodybuilding. You say to yourself, you know what, I might have a better chance to go over here and see how I do, just to take a chance. I think this is one thing I think all competitors do. Learn every pose, not just of women's physique, but also women's bodybuilding, just in case where, I did interview a lady who competed at Puerto Rico about a couple years ago. She was doing physique. She jumped over to women's bodybuilding. 2 others did it too, because you never want to miss an opportunity, even to get the pro card or get your Olympic qualification.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of amateur shows will do that too. I know around here in Pittsburgh, Gary Udit puts on a lot of the local shows here. And he, if you do physique, he will allow a free entry for the female bodybuilding division also. So the amateurs can do both.
Yeah, he's the king of the master shows too, because he has the Master World. A couple of ladies get interviews and come in which they competed that show, and and it's just I'm like this. It's getting frustrating as a fan seeing the difficulties y'all ladies go through, where you want to be respected and recognized. I know the truth is that I know it's about money. It's always about the money. It's about the dollar bill, y'all. But I think it should be one thing. Is I talk about my channel. It's like I will say equal pay, but at least something, because you do a show as a pro. I know as an amateur you have to pay out of your pocket. I know one lady showed me when she was competing a few years ago, she had to pay almost like $600-700 for her last, $6,000-7,000 for her last prep. And you said again, that's expensive, and that could go to maybe paying your rent, car bill. Hey, have a good time, go to Vegas, But it's just that you have a passion for a sport and a drive for it. But I believe like this. I think there should be better, prize money, because if you do a show, you get $3,000. Turn around. The male bodybuilder might get $30,000 or $40,000, or your men's physique might get 10. With bikini and wellness, those divisions, those are more aesthetically pleasing to some promoters. They may not get a lot of money on the prize money, but they'll make money from sponsorship.
Yeah.
And you have a sponsor, or it's all on you?
So I do have a supplement sponsor, and he's local. So I do love supporting my local businesses. So he's a veteran-owned business, and it's called Phase Up Nutrition. So yeah, and he actually sponsors the Amazon magazine.
Yeah.
Vinny's really cool about supporting the bodybuilders here, and yeah, he's a great guy. And like I said, veteran, family-owned business, and I'm super supportive of that.
Yeah, because I know the guy who runs it, Glenn Senior.
Glenn, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Glenn. I met him this coming next week, May 1st. I went to the release party for the magazine, because a lady who I'm friends with, Marianne Orkowski, she's from Pittsburgh. I know she's from Philadelphia. I think it's from Pittsburgh. I mean, you might have met her or something like that. Great lady. I got to meet her. Another lady by the name of Smoke. She's an amateur. It was the first time for me. I'm this right side. I'm a support Smoke. I'm out the gate. It was the first time for me to see women like this in
Mhm.
person. I've seen them in magazines, I've seen them in TV, I've seen them on the internet, but to meet these women in person, the first time, was just and knowing there's there's some many, especially in my home. I live in North Carolina, and there's some ladies that have done interviews in my home state that are here, and and just knowing that there's a community here. I mean, it's I think the more popular places for it, like is Florida. There's a lot of bodybuilders in Florida.
Yeah.
California, where pretty much where it really grew, and Texas is a growing mecca. I mean,
Mhm.
I did an interview with a lady by the name of Tony Mercury, who lives in Texas. A lady who just competed, who was I consider a friend of mine, Sheba Shaka. A lady who also a friend of mine. I know I'm name dropping, but
Okay.
but Brooke, Brittany Brooks. I mean, it's just even though it's kind of a small community, it's really kind of close. But also, you're gonna have your beefs, you're gonna have your issues. I mean, it's like any family. Sometimes
Yeah.
you fight amongst each other, but no one outside can fight against you.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand for sure. Yeah, Pittsburgh, we have bodybuilders here, like you were talking about Emily Schubert, she's here. And then Teresa Ivanchik, she's close. She's about an hour from me. So we have some pros in the area. Justine Albert is a physique pro and she's here. And um, but yeah, I'm the only figure pro that's competing this year, but we have like a couple other figure pros, but I don't know when they're competing.
Yeah, it's about like I said, I think they probably wanted to work on a few things and make some development, and make some improvements. But here's the one thing about this boy is, as I said again, I'm Mr. Perfect Smoke, and it's a fetish for us guys. Like I remember years ago, I used to be on this. I used to come on this chat room, and these guys talk about stuff like that and stuff like that. I mean, one guy he was like talking about like he used to go to shows like that. He say like he said that's an old school Smith. When your ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard, and and it's just I remember one lady told me how say you're not smokes, you're friends,
Yeah.
and it's funny how people make comments about us saying like, yeah, are you gay or something? I said, wait a minute, this is a beautiful woman right in front of me. How can I be gay? It'd be one thing if I had a man crush on Vin Diesel. I mean, Fast and the Furious, and first of all, like, it's like it'll be a yard or a mile, win's a win, and the Fast 10's coming out, got Aquaman in it,
Yeah.
but it's just that we just find young women just interesting, and I know some women for them since even on the fetish end, the guys still make more money than just it's not fair because I know my friend Sean, he tells me sometimes he has gay dudes want to have foot pictures and stuff like that, but I say, no, yeah. I said, dude, go ahead and do it. You might make some money. I know it's expensive for you to compete, but even that ends. Some women would have to do to make a living. You have a job, you have a career, I understand that, but some women do stuff like I know
Mhm.
OnlyFans,
Yeah.
HBCs, and also a lot of them would do like after shows. I just did an interview where this I'm gonna name drop again with Sean Nelson. Really
Yeah.
cool dude.
Sean's
Really
cool.
cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he's really cool dude. Show me some stuff, give me some jewels. And I know a lot of ladies after show, they love to do the photo sets because said again, when y'all ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. That's the best time to get you. I think one thing what needs to be done is when you get your pro card and you have to pay, I think was it $200 a year to that card. It should be some benefits to it,
Mhm.
like most definitely like um healthcare, life insurance, help. Like if you want to get some blood work, you don't have to pay out of your pocket. I
Oh yeah.
mean, but just those things that to help maybe alleviate some of the financial pressures of competing.
Yeah, that's especially the blood work. That stuff would be like golden because I think that we should be doing it at least more than once a year, but getting it once a year is pretty expensive. And the fact to be like, oh, I should, do it more, and it's the responsible thing to do. And if we're healthy, then we can compete longer. So you would think that the organization would want to keep most of their athletes, especially the pros, healthy so they can keep competing.
Yeah, but the thing about bodybuilding, it's not as profitable compared to that. They make a good change, but compared to like mainstream sports like football, basketball, baseball, and also those sports have unions. Like you remember a few years ago when that Dollar Sterling mess and the players unions came together and they kicked them out. When the situation with the lockout, both in basketball and baseball, I think this thing is, but I think some people are more worried about their short term money, their long term money. I would think that you want to come together and say, you know what, we have a problem. And his thing is, we as the fans, we come to see you. We don't
Yeah.
come to see the man. We don't come to see Jake Wood. We don't come to see any others. We come to see y'all. And I think if anything, they would want to invest in something for their athletes. Especially even if the NPC level, you should have a little something because hey, you it's an amateur, you got to pay out of your pocket more than anybody because you got to pay an interest fee. And if you even that, sometimes you may not get that money back. But I think sometimes Gary Udit would do, if you do as amateur, he'll give you money back. You compete every now and then, and it's just like I said again, it's a lot of money that you got to put into it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do know that some of those shows, like they are trying to give, at least a paid ticket to a national show if you win, the overall and things. So like, that's great if they can give those nice prizes to the amateurs for getting overalls at shows. But yeah, again, I wish maybe all the shows did that or something.
Yeah, we got here Tony 97. He says, uh, "Would you like to go up in weight class in the future?" Well, she mentioned she's consider it.
Mhm.
If you look now, it said again, the figure girls are getting bigger. If you look at Jessica Padilla Reyes, you look at Lola Montez, you look at I think who else I'm thinking about uh, just I don't know all the figure girls. I don't follow figure that
Oh,
much.
like Zenobia, she's beautiful.
Nicole, yeah, and also I think Autumn Swanson. Autumn
Yeah,
Swanson. She used
yep,
to be physique, but
yep.
she went back to figure.
Hmm.
It's just like I said again. It's about the process, and I remember there was a picture I saw. It was a picture of Jessica and Natalia, and you looked at them. You seen that picture? Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about, and it's funny because they have the same coach. So I'm just like, what are their coach doing? It's one without heels and one with heels.
Yeah, you would think like it'd be like this. I think it'd be like okay, Jessica is the middleweight and Natalia is the lightweight, and that's
Yeah,
how it looks. I mean,
yeah,
I also saw a picture. She took a picture with a physique competitor. Her name is Anna Harris,
yeah,
and if you look at her, she was bigger than Anna.
yeah,
You would think it like say I did like people like look at Missy Trescott.
yeah. Missy is like, wow.
What like I remember when they had last year when they had figure
Hmm.
at the Arnold, and I'm
Hmm.
looking at backstage videos, and I'm looking, like like JM, the NBC News, they always had the backstage videos.
Yep.
And I'm looking at it, and I'm saying, am I looking at figure? I mean, I'm looking at physique because even though it's fitness and figure, and I'm looking at people like Missy, Jessica,
Hmm.
Erica Deer, and An John.
Oh
I'm saying,
yeah, she's good too.
yeah, you wouldn't think it wasn't for the high heels. You were thinking I was looking at physique.
Yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
Even now, like when I'm looking at other girls on Instagram, like, and I see them doing, like check-in pictures, I'm like, is that girl wearing heels? Is she figure? Oh my God, like she's so big. Like, and I'm thinking like some of these girls I might end up on stage with, right? So I'm just like, what am I gonna look like next to that? Because you don't really know until you're next to them, right? Like we all look good on our own, or maybe we know angles and can look bigger on Instagram, but I think a lot of girls, you really have to put them next to each other in person to actually see, like, is she really big or was that just like a
Lighting.
facade? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I know one thing people tell me that some ladies I know I talk about this saying like, well, George, there's a big difference when you're actually there than you see it on TV or you see it online or you see it in pictures. Yeah, I know that, but the fact is, when you start looking like you should be, one time I did a picture where I did like a picture of Missy, and I think I had it somewhere. I think I got it somewhere in my computer, stuff like that. I might send it to you later. You might check it out. I did a picture of Missy and Sarah put it together,
Hmm.
and you looked at it and say, what, it's just, you couldn't barely tell. I mean, it looked like, I mean, I think, Sarah won. I don't know. I know if Missy wants, she probably could get on stage and, maybe compete for Miss Olympia physique. It's just, but I think she feels comfortable where she at. I think when people say that, fact is like, she does a lot of flips. She just does a lot of artistic stuff. That's why I think that the 2020 Olympia, that's when Whitney Jones won because Whitney has that more aesthetic look. She wasn't as
Hmm.
buff. But I think we had to take a step back because she's dealing because she's over 40, and I could tell you, I remember I watched a video with her. She's ice to the knees. I can understand that with knees. A man, Tony 97 just said this. Sometimes you can't tell if someone is legitimately big or it's just a post workout pump. Yeah, it's just that when you're especially if you ate something that day and you're just like it's like, and
Yeah.
you're just coming in, you just look at the camera and say, wow,
Yeah.
but sometimes pictures can be photoshopped a little bit.
They really are. I mean, you can't beat a good pump though, but yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah. Also, you see, like I say, but here's the thing about this:
Mhm.
as a competitor, in your opinion, what you would like to see change in sport? What you want to see that you think that needs to be done?
Um, I think it's great that they are doing like posing seminars and things like that. And I know that like the organization was doing that women's workshop at the beginning of the year. I would like to see like more meetups or something of that sort. Like I think one of the best parts about doing shows is just meeting people backstage and like the friendships that you make with the other girls or other competitors. I just would love more of like more meetups. Like if like at the Arnold, like sometimes people will have like events at like supplement shops and things like that to like do meet and greets, and I like that kind of stuff, especially now as a pro. Like I actually hope that someday I'm like honored with the idea of, having like a meet and greet booth or something. So I just would like to do more of that. And again, the posing workshops are great. I would like to do more posing workshops or I like to go to them, maybe be a part of one someday. So I think we just need to keep the face to face stuff going on too.
Mhm. I know a friend of mine told me, he said, George, you need to go to a posing, like a posing seminar. I said, can I go? I'm not a competitor. He said, no, you can buy a ticket and go. I said, well, like I said, I live on a budget, so sometimes I just can't travel too much. I just got my car fixed early this year, and that, oh,
Oh, anything with the car. Ooh.
oh, a car is like, I mean, by the time you fix one thing, I got one thing fixed. Well, I had to place my shocks and my struts on both in the front and the back because it was a car my sister gave me. And,
Yep.
it was one strut. So, you know what? There's no point in just replacing that one. I might as well pick both. Now I got to fix another thing. I got to replace this thing. And just, I mean, I wish it could be like Superman, just fly wherever I
I
need to
know.
go.
Teleport, please.
Teleport. You like a go to, just like, you know, get
Yep.
there, or like beat me up, Scotty, Captain Picard, engage number one.
Yes.
So it's just like I said again, it's a pleasure talking with you because I know you just got off of work. Uh, you know, Tony got another question. If you want to ask this question, he says, "What's your height and your weight?" So, what's your dimensions right now?
Yeah. So I'm 2 weeks out, like I said, and I'm 5'3" in height. And right now I am 131 pounds.
God, I haven't been 131 pounds since elementary school. Yeah, I think about
Yeah. Well,
fifth
my
grade.
off season started at 158. So if that tells you my heaviest to what it is now, so I've lost about 30 or so pounds. And I'm, between now and peak week, my coach is like, we're probably going to lose another 10 pounds. So we're probably looking at 122 pounds once we're on stage.
Hmm. And I say you are planning to do the Pittsburgh.
Yep,
You know,
Pittsburgh and
and
Toronto.
And like I said, I might talk about. I know, like I said, most of the time my content I talk about more. I talk more about bodybuilding.
Hmm.
I don't talk too much about shows that don't have women's bodybuilding. I might every now and then because, as you know, I'm expanding my content a little bit. I just did it. I did an interview a while back with a lady, a couple ladies with bikini competitors. One was amateur, one's a pro.
Yep.
I'm been reaching out to girls in wellness, but they kind of like the mindset of like of those other bikini competitors,
Yeah.
But like I said, I think you're the third figure competitor I've talked to, and really, like I said, I'm trying to expand my thing. Like I said again, I'm almost a person smoke, and and I like I said, I think all your ladies are beautiful, and to quote the other guy, you are beautiful.
Thank
Yeah, and, it's just like I said, he comes out. I can't help it.
It's your character. It's okay.
Yeah, I have multiple characters. Right now you're talking to. I'm George MacArthur. Then there's always George Page. And then there's There's him, the other guy, the Joker. There's also another guy, the perfect sage.
Oh, Perky Sage. I know that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Jiraiya, I hate that it killed him. I said, why? Why you
Oh,
killed Jiraiya? I mean, that was like Naruto's. I would say Jiraiya was more like Naruto's. I would say kind of a grandfather image than a father figure. 'Cause, his father's Minato, the fourth Hokage.
yep.
And I think he was kind of like I mean, it just to lose. He just. I remember he was just so brokenhearted. I mean, but it's just. I just. He's my favorite. I also have another guy called the Hater. He's based on a character from Chappelle's show, Silky Johnson. I come sometimes when I have a situation where I get pissed off, I bring him out. He's the Hater, and there's also one that a friend of mine stole me. He called me the Lord of the Wall. I'm Jon Snow, the Lord of the Wall, the Bastard of Winterfell. I have mental characters. My man Tony is saying again, says, would you like to reach 145 to 150 range in the future, or do you have the weight goal you want to reach? So are you feel like you're perfect where you at, or you feel like you want to go more?
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, I would definitely be open to women's physique, in the future if that ever comes about. Like I said, I'm 30, so I know I still got room to grow. And the figure division's getting big. So man, I would be totally happy with, getting up to like 140, 145. Now, I am 5'3", so I am a little shorter, so I know that that's going to take a little more time than probably someone that's a little taller than me. Because I think as of right now, seeing that I'm like 131 at the moment, yeah, I would say at probably 140 would be my max.
Because I think with the shorter girls, you can really put on muscle if you're not careful. And taller women it takes a lot longer because like I think you have your longer arms and appendages. And it takes Julie Welso who competed at the Vancouver. She's like 5'8", 5'9".
Mhm.
Also, there's I got another interview tomorrow. Also, another lady, her name is Angela Nori, and she's like 5'11". She competes in physique.
Wow.
Yeah, she's tall. She did an interview with my man KLA a while back. So what? Let me reach out. She want to interview because I love to get the opportunity for y'all ladies to share your voice and share your stories because people need to understand
Mhm.
you're an athlete, you're a woman, you have a job, you have a life. I know it said again, you recognize it. How I talk about how these guys be out there talking about, hey, you're probably a man, yeah, 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 yeah. But then be turn around and be saying like about 20 minutes later saying like, saying something like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I just was in the crowd and but
Yeah.
if you we like these women and have a fondness for these ladies, admit it. I know people are going to shame you because they say, make comments like you might be gay, it's like that. It's not like you're having wet dreams about Big Ramy or
No.
about Cedric McMillan or something like that. But it's just your fondness of women with muscle. And I know you a lot of these ladies, you have to make a living, you have to work, you have to do what you got to do, you have to try. It's tough,
Yeah.
and you put so much into sport, but
Mhm.
don't get much back in out of it, And I feel like this said again. I think there should be more benefits of being a pro,
Yeah.
and just things to help you along the way. Because like I said again, you're the product. Like I said, we don't come see the judges. We don't come see Bob Chickarello. I call him Bobby Chick. We don't come to see those people. We come to see y'all. And
Yes.
I think if anything, you should be taking care of more than anybody. You should have any kind of help you need. If you, like I said again, the insurance, life, health,
Mhm.
medical insurance, just something to help you along the way. Because we just had one time ago we had a bunch of deaths. It's not just in bodybuilding, but also in the other division like women bikini. I remember somebody told me how even bikini girls take PEDs and steroids because the
Yes,
fact that
they do.
yeah,
Yes.
I remember somebody told me ballerinas take it because think about it. It's just like I said, it's not just in bodybuilding. It's all sports. It's just not, and just also you use it for recovery, use it, asthma, uh,
Mhm.
birth control. But it's so easy to pick on bodybuilding more than to pick in the other divisions.
Yep. No, you're definitely right. And I think it's great that a lot of coaches are like coming out with podcasts and they're able to talk about it because I think it's very hard for a lot of athletes to come out about what they take, and a lot of them aren't comfortable, and I totally understand because you just never know who's watching, and you don't want to like put that under you when you're just trying to compete, and you don't want any politics involved, that kind of things. But like I said, I think coaches are doing a good job at educating people, and I'm just glad somebody is because at least the coaches are more comfortable and not worried about like their competing reputation.
Yeah, I remember a friend of mine, my friend Sean, sent me this video. It was this guy Kenny Ko. You ever heard of him?
Yep.
Yeah, it was the one with Teresa and Vosick.
Yep. I know which video you're talking about.
I mean, and and I'm like this. Teresa should have just said, what you think, and walked away. She should have just walked away. She didn't have to stay there and let that guy bait her. I saw he was talking to this one girl. She was Japanese, Korean, or something, and the girl speak not one ounce of English. And and I'm not a fan of people like that. I mean, it's one thing. Also, I know you're shaming the guys too, but you shaming the women. It's like, these women don't need to be shamed. They got enough to deal with people commenting on them and making suggestions about them. I mean, it's tough.
It is, and I feel bad because Teresa's really nice. I know she's very professional. So, again, someone even like her, it's like she shouldn't have to feel forced to talk about it. It's kind of like she's a female bodybuilder, so it's like.
What do you think? I know he talked to one lady who I did interview back, Rita West, and she said, "Yeah, I'm not natty," and Rita, she's straight up. I know I've talked to Rita, she's straight up, But while we have you here, and we want to thank you again, do you have anybody you want to show a shout out to, appreciation to? Just you can name drop if you like.
Sure. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, my whole family really supports me, like my parents, and I'm really grateful for that because they never make me feel like I'm an outcast or that I'm doing something like wasteful with my time. They know that like I really love this sport, and obviously turning pro meant like I did okay. And along with that too, they also love my coach, and I do also love my coach. Her name is Cami Leal. She is an IFBB pro, and yeah, I've been with her for 5 years, and she's the one that turned me pro. And I've had more off seasons with her than preps, and we're about to do this pro debut together, and she's coming up to Pittsburgh and Toronto, and but yeah, she's been a fantastic coach, 100%. Couldn't do this without her at all because she's changed my life in and outside of the sport. So those are my two little shout outs there. And of course, my sponsor, Phase Up Nutrition, that I mentioned earlier.
All right. This is what I would like to do if I could.
Sure.
Especially as a fan. I would love to sponsor some of you ladies if I had the way to do it. But there's guys out there who would, who could do this. And his thing is, and guys, this is things you should do like this. Don't be that guy saying, Paige, you got a pretty girl, and, you gotta, I like your work. I might want to help you, but I gotta do. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Don't do it. This is what someone should do. Say like, Mrs. Sangre, my name is such and such, such and such. I love to sponsor you. So if anything you need from me, let me know. If you need, taking care of you, like pay a fee like that, gas or something like that, this and that. Just the little things you might need to get you along the way through the day. I'm happy to help. This is what we want to see in bodybuilding. Like I tell guys out here, if you guys out here who I know you guys are fans, you guys love these ladies. You see that there's less shows for even for women's bodybuilding, physique, or even figure. If you're interested, reach out to promoters. If you get a collection of guys together, you can get like maybe 10 guys who maybe with $3,000 a piece. That's like $30,000. Approach, because I know they have to pay a fee to the IFBB for the shows, and then approach the promoters. You have shows where you have one division, and that'd be the bikini, wellness, or men's physique, one of the banana hammocks, boy shorts divisions, and that's what they are. Come on, you got to think about it. You got to pay $40. I know one lady, her son competes in men's physique. She told me how her last outfit was like $1,200, and he only paid $40-$50 for a pair of banana hammocks. And this is what we like to see. If you feel like these divisions, be it women's bodybuilding, be it physique, be it figure, or even fitness, you feel like they need a place, reach out, get together, step up. These ladies can use this kind of help and support. It's getting harder, and it's getting to the point where it's going to be like around about 2013, 2014, when there's pretty much was not to be the shows left for women's bodybuilding. Women's strength came through, great thing. They was doing good things. Now they kind of fall off a little bit because they focus on more stuff like that. But I understand what Jake's doing. Jake Woods. Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. But if there's a means of the way, and you feel like these women are getting shortchanged. You feel like there's not enough to like people like what Sarah Vickers is doing, where the
Mhm.
Pittsburgh show, she's putting up like I think $15,000 $20,000 for women's physique. You
Yep.
know, if Andrew's getting big money like that, like she does both Olympia and Rising Phoenix. She gets a new car, and altogether she might get a good check or change. But she should be just focused on because I don't count the Rising. Is Andrews competing at the Rising Phoenix? I don't count that as Olympic qualification because you're not going to be Andrea. If she was getting deep, like at least I would say $200,000. She doesn't get the big money like Heidi Chopin, but if she's getting that,
Mhm.
she probably can do more. If this is what we want to see, more opportunities for you ladies, better prize money, the benefits of being a pro, not just for the men, also not for the women, but also the men too.
Mhm.
You need these things to really make the sport. It's difficult. It can be a drag. Some people could quit after a while. I know somebody's got a pro card, and say, you know what, that's it. I don't want to do anything else. I got a pro card. Some women, just they stay in the sport because they have a love for it. I know someone say, I don't do it for the money, George. I do it because I have a passion for it. But money helps a little bit.
Mhm. It does, and I think there's always some sort of way. I love that Sarah does that for the women's physique and has that nice prize, and it's at like certain shows. I know, I haven't heard anything recently, but I know Nicole Zenobia wanted to do something like that for figure, where I think sometime this year they wanted to do like whoever the first prize what at the show that they choose, they were going to give like extra prize money for the figure division. Like it's that kind of thing where I think, like you said, if any guys want to call in a promoter, I would assume that if it's their money that they wanted to donate to a show, maybe they could say that, like, I want to give award to the best poser for women's physique and women's bodybuilding. Like, I mean, I think that's great. I love when they give out like an extra prize for posing. I think because I think posing's so much fun and I think it's great and I think it's entertaining. And I think that if there was a prize, I bet more people would maybe take it more seriously and maybe more entertaining. And uh, I don't know, even guest posers. I know I'm figure, but I would love to guest pose someday. And I think that that's another thing that would love to see more female guest posers because right now, like obviously at the Pittsburgh, it's all men, which is great because Jim Mannion gets like the best men's open to come in to pose, and it's like a special event. But I would love to see more posts. I would love to see Andrea show up at the Pittsburgh or something. Like maybe I don't know. We need some more females.
Yeah, like I said, Sarah's there past out the way. Maybe she should use guest posting, or
Yeah.
Brooke Walker, or yeah, Brooke. I thought she was. I feel like she had. I felt like she had a chance, but I think she started to work some things. Things like I think we would love to see some of that. I would say like this. I would love to see, Cindy, Whitney, and Andrea come together doing something
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
And that's what's if more women like Linda Murray, she has. Wait, remember Linda? Well, at one point Linda had two shows. She had one point she had Norfolk, but she had to close that down. And then she has Savannah, and that was closed down. And then she'll have Atlanta. If we see more female promoters like Linda and Lena Popa, I think that would help. Especially they will probably, especially they did the divisions a fair shake because it's the divisions they both started in, and that's what their careers are. And I think if we could see just people stepping up. I mean, I know there's a lot of pushback because it's about the thing about the femininity, debate. It's about the fact that it's women get bigger, larger. But like I said again, you're an athlete, you're evolving. If you try to keep them pigeonhole, it's gonna be tough. I mean, it's just you just can't. Like I said again, your division how it's evolving, physique how it's evolving. Women's bodybuilding is evolving. You're gonna see girls come up in bikini say, you know what, I can't keep like this. I gotta move up.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. And I think I want to see more girls do more content. Like I said, I wish that I was doing more YouTube, that I wish I had somebody follow me around and film more because I would love to share more workout footage and stuff. I think it's cool. And if other girls are able to do it, yeah, get on YouTube, share your workouts and share your cooking or your day in the life too, because I think it's cool, to see the girls work out, but then it's like, okay, well, what do you do for fun, and I think that that's kind of exciting too, to watch that kind of stuff. So if I could tell girls, grow your social media in some way, like, I don't know, I'm an extrovert, so it's easy for me, and I know a lot of girls are more shy and introverted, but yeah, definitely grow your social media, and then grow a fan base so that we can get more people to come see your shows and support you.
Yeah, that's what you need. Like I said, I think I think some people, like I said, you said, yeah, some people are not like. I know I talk to some ladies about, hey, you want to do an interview? You say, I'm kind of shy. It's just you and me talking. It's not like it's like with a big room, bunch of people, just you and me talking, have a conversation. We have people here in the chat, and dropping stuff like, oh, we got here. JC Dub says, hey, Paige.
Hello, hello.
And that's just and if you look on YouTube, there is 20 Men's channels dedicated to Moses. The guys, they might talk about bikini girls every now and then. There's only so few like myself. There's KLA. He does a little content on his body.
Great.
Yeah, I did it last week. I did a live stream with them.
Yep,
Record live stream. Yeah, I know. That's why you followed me, because you saw it. It was great.
Yeah.
It was cool. People I was in Savannah when I saw Ashley Haddock. She was walking with her husband. I was kind of like, it's my first time. I could have. I wanted to say something, but I said, nah, I don't want about it. And Chelsea Dion, she's really cool. My man David Bryan, he does content. Dee on the spot. We're the few that give y'all ladies a voice. That a lot of people don't unless you're like, okay, if you're like Sarah, or you're like Natalia, or you're like Andrea, or you're like Angela, or you're like whoever's the big popular woman in the divisions, like Nicole Zenobia, or whoever else. I like I said, I had guys who saw that I do the interview with Sherry Parami and said like, well, Sherry, it's not about it's great I get Sherry Parami, but I love talking to people like you who I call y'all have your boots in the ground, 10 toes down. You're the ones who yes, I would love to do an interview with Andrea. I would love to interview Andrea. I would love to interview Hella Trevino, which I talk, I said everything so often. Hella Trevino, amazing lady. I think one lady I was talking to took fifth that show, Branka Jogovic. I told her they gifted Helly that third place, and she agreed because she had great physique. She looked great. I remember I did an interview with Danielle Willis, and Danielle, she did the Christmas Eve, and she was sick. I said, Danielle, you don't have to do this interview. We can go back. I said, nah, I want to do it with you, George. She calls me I'm the emperor by the talk. She calls me the general, but her, I said, I'll take the demotion. So we got here my man JC Dub. He says, I love Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea's cool.
Chelsea's
also,
great.
and she's also she's a weed. I remember I posted something like this. Say, you should get that picture. He said she wants to get that picture of Arnold from Pumping Iron.
Yeah.
She's good. I hope maybe in the future I get to interview her and Asha sometime. More ladies. I mean, like I said, I enjoy doing this and talking to you ladies and just just being a fan. I mean, it's just I remember somebody told me, say, George, you should do something. I said, this is what I like doing because I'm a fan of you ladies. I mean, I'm like I said, there's the pretty part of me that really is into, but now the friendships I've gathered with some of you ladies, the connections I've have, some ladies I can call on the phone and talk to them. Sometimes they call me and say, just want to vent, or just, sometimes I remember one time, me and one lady was just talking for about an hour. And she just said, you know what, George, sometimes you need somebody to talk to. Sometimes you get, especially when you're training, you get to that dark place. And it's, it could take your mind. And sometimes you say, you know what, I might need somebody to talk to. I say, I got nothing to do. I'm here almost all day. And then when I go out and run my errands. But I mean, it's just opportunities to talk to me. JC is also saying, well, you got interviews with Cherry. That's a great thing for you because she's a top tier athlete. Like I said, yeah, I appreciate that. But still, I love talking to anyone who likes to share their story. He says, it's your lucky day on Saturday. Well, also, like I said, I'm going to have also another lady on Saturday. I'm going to have a threesome on Saturday. So.
Wow, you are busy.
Like I said, I want to keep busy. I love to talk to you. I love to give, like I said again, I love to give y'all ladies a voice where, people need to know, like I said again, you're a woman, you're an athlete. You're in this sport for your passion for it. I mean, it's, like I said, it's not, it's not a sport where which everybody can do the sport, it would, just anybody can do the sport. It's just be easy, but not a lot of people have the same, conviction for it. And so again, being consistent. I know there's times where, like I take a friend of mine to work and I go work out and I come home. There's times where I get out of bed, I don't want to go work out. My bed's my lover. She be calling my name, man. She be calling my name. But then I say, you know what? I got to do this because I get older. I got to get healthier. I mean, I got to. Sometimes some habits. Right now, I'm planning on doing something next month where I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm going to try something. See how it works. If not, you're gonna find me in a corner. I'm at like Pookie, New Jack City, and be calling my name, man. Be calling my name. But like I said, it's some things I gotta try. Cause like I said, I need to take care better myself because I want to be here a little longer. Also, JC says, you're lucky. You're really lucky. Yeah, I appreciate that, JC. So anyway, like I said, I'm not gonna hold you up. We have a great conversation. I enjoy talking with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. I love talking, obviously.
Yeah, my mom tells me sometimes I used to go out and pick up and say, "Where's George? He's somewhere talking to somebody." I say, people talk to me sometimes. I don't, I just see. I get to talk about. I gotta say, but the part about thank you is again, my favorite movie is Batman Begins, and at the end of Batman Begins, and when Jim Gordon turns around to Batman and says, "I forgot to thank you," and Batman says, "You never have to." I love that part. That's great. That's just people shit on Christian Bale, but to me, he was one of the best Batman out there. I mean, like swear to me. I mean, and Affleck, you better talk about the one scene in Batman and Superman. That one scene in the warehouse. But hey, so did Batman. He beat up 5 guys on a wharf. 10 guys on the wharf. But here's something also I remember in Batman. He says like this, and Thomas Wayne says to Bruce, "Why do we fall? So we learn to pick ourselves up."
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a great one. This is my man, JC says, "Nice talking to you, Paige." Yeah, if you want to follow Paige, her social media subscription, go check out her Stories of Paige YouTube channel. Get her more subscribers. Maybe, like I said, maybe she'll make some content later down the road. Maybe after her last show, and that'd be great. Your trainer should be quoting so many stuff like that'd be good for you too.
Yeah, she usually does. She'll get a lot of the stage footage and stuff, and maybe some backstage stuff, and she'll be up with Toronto with me too. So we'll definitely get some back-to-back footage there.
Yeah, I remember Paige Sogri. She told me she told me how when she was back there, saying y'all ladies are funky. She said she had to do a thing with the fabric softeners to put in the armpits because that tanning. If you put any kind of spray like that, it melts.
Yeah, you got to be careful, man. That tan is so important and it's so sensitive and delicate.
It's another expensive being a bodybuilder, that tanning. So, folks, so again, if you want to check it out, follow her social media. Reach out to her. She's maybe let's get her to 1,000 subscribers, get her monetized because that can help in anywhere. Any little change can make anything. Any little change can help. But guys, I don't know why. I could keep saying this, but you know what? It does no good. But no deep pics. Stop it. I know she's an attractive girl. I know you get that. You get that brick in your chance when you see these ladies. Stop it. Get some help. Think about what you're doing. Women don't like this shit. Not even women who are not bodybuilders don't like that. Stop it. Stop it.
Listen, they don't have to send me a dick pic, but they could send me money and I'll do a photo shoot. And, because I don't do OnlyFans, but I've got lots of photographer friends. I'll get some pictures taken, but I want my photographer friends to get paid too.
I was talking to Sean. I think Sean supposed to be coming to Pittsburgh.
I was looking. He didn't have Pittsburgh on his list. I was hoping to get out to him.
I know I did an interview saying he's going to Pittsburgh, and I think he says going to New York and a couple other places. But I would say if you have his IG, just message him, see what he had, because he does some good work. I mean and I could help out with your social media, being with as I call stuff the sites he worked for. I call them the Beat the Meat websites. That's what they are called.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. And I'm totally cool with that. And I got to see if Glenn's coming up too. I know he's talked about bringing the magazine stuff because he comes up for Teresa all the time.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's going to make his way up here yet.
Yeah, I think he's supposed to be going to Tampa also. He's planning on going to Tampa. So but I wish him best of luck. I hope he just good because I follow him. But anyway, folks, I like y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. JC Dub. Tony 97, my man Lawrence Perkins, my man KL the Wanderer, Balls Deep. I'm surprised Balls Deep is very nice today.
That's behavior, huh?
Yeah, he's that brother. He like this. Usually, guys coming here. I get a new girl here. Say, George got a new girl. She found the motherfucker. They go wow. But like I said, I do appreciate your time. Wish you best of luck in the upcoming shows. Like I said, feel like you ever want to come back on and just have a conversation, we can talk about anime, comic books, something like that. Like I said, I have a stack of comic. I used to have them in my room. My mom took them because she put them in the storage room because they were so
Oh,
they were
cool.
bad. But I appreciate you for taking your time and sharing your stories with me and my followers, my subscribers, folks. If you missed the video, if you haven't seen, you can watch it again on my channel. Also, instead again, you can go to Paige's channel and also her YouTube and really, support a woman like her. And so again, hey, if you miss the greenbacks and she do a photo shoot for you, nothing else, dudes, nothing else. Maybe a nice little bikini, something little shorts like that.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Be respectful. This is a lady we have here. All right,
Yeah.
a lady. Well, I'd like to thank you again. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Sure thing. All right. Thank you so much for having me on.
All right, you're welcome. Anyway, folks, I'd like to thank you for coming through. Appreciate your time and support. Support these ladies and men in the sport of bodybuilding. Show respect. And like I said, just be genuine and sincere about your interests. Anyway, this is man always yours Paige, aka the Emperor from Bobby Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Bye.